Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel Happy Hour. And it's a happy hour indeed. I have Tracy here with me, and we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're not going to talk too long because, this is a little bit more important right now.
Absolutely. Good.
Apparently, a man allegedly guns down a judge who oversaw his divorce proceeding, and the manhunt is ongoing. This is by ABC News, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
got it.
oh my goodness. So, okay. So there's this $10,000 reward for this Pedro Argotti. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, what the judge did is he transferred custody of the couple's children to Argott's wife. Judge Wilkinson also issued $1,200 a month. Well, it was $1120 a month in child support requirement, and prohibited Pedro from visiting or contacting his children or wife if it was not initiated by her. Okay, and he gave the wife the sole possession of the family home, according to some of the court documents obtained by ABC News. Now, I'm saying some because I don't think they got them all. And I'm sorry, but any judge who writes a no contact order, and I understand apparently alleged domestic violence was on the record, maybe perhaps, but is that a reason to keep a mother or a father away from their children?
Well, Charlie Manson got to see his kids.
Right.
Hmm.
Ted Bundy got to see his kids,
Exactly. Jesus.
but not me.
No, but the thing is, even animals, you leave your house for 3 hours and you're telling me an animal isn't a bit upset when you leave. So you're telling me no contact with your children, children to have no contact with their parent, especially, you know, somebody's afraid of you, or are you an actual criminal? Did you kill somebody? Are you in a gang? So that it's not justifiable. That's cold. It's how can you do that? It's inhuman. Even when criminals get access to their children.
Right. Well, maybe Pedro will now get access to his kids.
Listen, Pedro.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I know
I'll say it.
I know there's good family judges, but I know family court should be abolished. Let's just get rid of it.
Absolutely.
This is the time.
You can't. Yeah, absolutely. But people need to realize why, Maryann. Why are we going to get rid of court? But you get rid of family court, but you have the federal level too. You have criminal court. So these judges, what people don't realize, and I didn't realize my naiveness until I got into the family court system, unfortunately, which it always should have been criminal, because if it's domestic violence and someone has kill in their eyes and is strangling you, I think that's not really family a problem. I think it's more of a criminal. So this is the problem. A judge is not seen, and it's not the evidence. Maybe Pedro was a great dad.
Right.
Maybe Pedro's not getting the benefit of the doubt, but these judges aren't giving any of us.
No. And we have to also know more about the mother's attorney. Was that attorney BFFs with the judge like my opposing attorney was? Do we know their connections? You go on LinkedIn, if you want yourself to look up, if you suddenly get hauled into family court or any court, look up connections. Who's a judge? Who donated? There's an actual site you can go on to who donated to their judge campaign.
Exactly.
Okay. This is what you need to learn. You need to learn who your enemy is. Sun Tzu, Art of War. Come on. It's a lot of work, especially when mentally you are drained and scared and everything's going down in this kangaroo court. It needs to be abolished.
Yeah. No. And I tell everyone, that it's not justice for all. It's justice for some, and it's guilty until proven innocent. So you can have all the evidence. Absolutely. It's complete opposite of what I was raised, you and I were raised about the law.
It's not who you know, it's who you blow.
Obviously, we're not doing it to the right people.
I guess not.
Apparently, God.
Do it.
Then you wonder why we all drink, right? So,
Right.
ah, what a waste of bad dates. If I
Oh
could have
my
been with all these
God.
judges. Oh, God.
I always said my judge had it in for me because I reminded him of some girl that dumped him at prom at the last minute. There,
Yeah.
there he was in his tux, and here's this girl was just saying, "I'm not going with you. I'm going with Ronnie." You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You could judge be having a fight with his wife,
right?
or she could be having a fight with her husband. And you think that she wants to, do her job, and the moral, ethical thing that they should be doing is look into exhibit A, B, C. No, they're like, you know what, Maryann, just move on. I don't like your attitude today. I cannot, my patience is worn. I'm
Right.
fighting with my wife. Um, you know, no contact with your children, and you, abuser, you get your children. And
Right.
that's how it goes.
And there's something wrong with a judge that writes no contact orders. There really is. There's something wrong there. I don't,
You
whether there was domestic violence, and like again, the reporters did not delve into that. I think the public needs to know more about that. You just can't paint half of a picture. You've got to give us the whole thing. And my judge wrote no contact even on Mother's Day. Now, what nutcase does that? And this is like I said, it's not who you know, it's who you blow, because the opposing attorney had a relationship with that judge. They worked in the DA's office for years. Okay, so I saw them coming with this great idea to have a guardian ad litem. I just saw it coming. So
Mhm.
what I did was I went to see all the attorneys in that city that participated as guardian ad litems.
Good.
And I just went in there and told them all about my sad sob story of my case. And now it's a conflict of interest. They could not be guardian ad litems.
Kudos.
Yeah. Cheers.
Um,
Did something right there.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You have to find out the conflict of interest and file for it. I forget what article it is.
They don't
Um,
care though. They don't care. What do we
well,
do?
that's true. You can have all the articles. I mean, it takes many people to get, it took a couple times for my judge for a false accusation and child protection. But yeah, he was just horrible. And I had my therapist on the line and their therapist, and I had to fight for it to get it heard by someone else in Albany, New York. So no, you got to. That's the thing. Don't just take whatever judge you get, and if they happen not to like
Mhm.
you, or you don't think you're going to get a fair uh, shot at the court system, then by golly, put in a conflict of interest, and
Right.
regardless, fight for your right, people is what we're teaching everybody.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
don't let anything slide, and appeal everything. If you have to do it yourself, there's, there are people there that I hate to say it, but they've got to be able to help you for free, because at this point you're broke. At this point, you're a pro se litigant. I mean, I've helped people. I can only give them my advice. I'm not an attorney, but this is what I would do. This is what I would file.
Mhm.
Um, we have to help each other. We're all in this together. Moms and dads, we're all in this together. Let's pull together.
Mhm.
Jim Shock is my poster child. He's in my book, Raised by These Wolves. And
Mhm. Jim. Yeah.
his case is so bad. The judge is letting his child live with an 8-count felon. Okay, this is what we're dealing with in family court. This is why
Yeah.
it must be abolished. Family court has to go and turn into civil court. Not that that could be any better, but at least you have a better chance at having a fair deal.
Fair. Absolutely, Maryann. That's exactly fair is a key word, fair. And there's accountability is the other thing. But like as we've mentioned in the past, even Charlie Manson got to see his kids. Ted Bundy, as you said, many other people. They to have a judge and not think you're going to have any repercussions. You sow what reap what you sow, my friend.
Right.
Um, and like I said, to have a an ethical ruling, that's like you even keep the relationship with a human to a pet,
Ugh.
that bond. But to take a relationship with a parent from a child or children, that's
Mhm.
beyond immoral, and that's just soulless.
Oh,
So
yes.
I would be afraid. My God, that would put me in check if I was just unethical and just knowing not doing the right thing, I'd be walking around in body armor of the Pope's
Yeah.
car. No.
Yeah. It's just not gonna be worth it. I think the good judges that are in family court, you
Ugh,
know, they may look at this and go, I don't know if I want to do this job, even though I'm decent and I am ethical. So now they're going to step back and someone criminal is going to walk in there and just carry on. This is
yeah,
what could happen, or we can just abolish it and go back to civil court.
absolutely. And that's what we all need to push for. We're all in it together. There's should be enough of the dividedness. The mothers group, the fathers group,
Yeah.
the grandparents group. Everyone leaves them out, but no. Imagine, like you know me, and I feel very strongly. Imagine the power and the force that we would have if we all merged our powers and our strength and our knowledge together. Mothers, fathers, grandparents, and I've been in rallies with grandparents,
Right.
many of them. I mean, I think there's a rally coming up that I'm gonna do, a grandfather, and he's running for legislator in Manhattan. So yeah, this goes on, but imagine how much more powerful and attention we would get onto what letting people really know the corruption in family court as mothers and fathers unite and grandparents.
Right.
But enough of there's too many gatekeepers, Maryann.
Right.
Everybody wants to be the hero and everybody wants to be an advocate. And so, but you know what? You don't charge people. You don't put more salt on the wound because you're part of the problem, not the solution. If you're an advocate, I'm not going to take your last dollar that I know you spent thousands of dollars in court for, Maryann.
Right.
So, or not do my job if I'm an advocate and get an $8,000 retainer and then block you. And we know many people like that, that we're not going to mention names.
It's very sad. It's just very sad because you're already, you know, you're just already flattened out from the steamroller of a well-oiled machinery of family court, you know, taking your kids away for no good reason, then making you lose your job. And this has happened to many moms and dads. And I'm glad you brought up the gender thing because we've got to pull together. There can't be, it's all dads, it's all moms. We're all stuck in this together. They're going after everybody. I don't want to hear stats. I'm tired of hearing stats. You know what? It's happening to all of us. And we don't know who's even making up those stats. Okay.
Exactly. Or fathers committing suicide, 85% rate of fathers committing suicide. Well, really, my friend. What about the mothers?
Right.
What about the children that are
Right.
killing themselves? And I did a story on a 14-year-old,
Right.
committed suicide because she didn't want to go to her SA father that was doing that to her. So my God, but to have that is just beyond soulless for any judge. Or especially CPS, especially those soulless, immoral
Cockroaches.
Yeah. And that's what they are. And I'm sorry, until I meet a judge or an attorney that is morally and ethically able to do their fiduciary sworn vow. And that's the thing, you swear to the bar. You don't swear to your clients, because I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, Maryann. If you're my judge and I'm fighting you and I know you're not doing something or ethical or immoral, then you're going to be like, Tracy, next time you go to my court, I'm going to make your life hell. So why would I bite the hand that feeds me? I'm just going to condone everything as bad, poor judge you are, and be like, yes, Your Honor, Maryann. Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor, Maryann.
Oh, and be very wary when you get an attorney and they say, oh, I argue well in front of that judge. That judge says I present very well. And then it's your turn, like you're going to go before this judge. That attorney sends his underling in. He won't go in, but he'll send his underling in who really messes up your case. Okay, so be very, very careful what's being said and start looking into your judges and your lawyers' relationships. All of them.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I mean, I'd like to add some humor to this somehow. There's got to be, something.
Put myself down. Okay.
Positive, something positive. Like, okay, for instance, I'll show you something positive. Hang on. I have had this Birkenstock. Okay, it actually matches my shirt, right?
I like it.
Guess how old this is. Guess how old?
I don't know. They look pretty new.
They're about 10 years old or 12 years old. Oh no,
Really?
I bought them in 2013. So yeah, they're about whatever. But the thing is, those last. You know what doesn't last?
Yeah.
Loyalty. Loyalty doesn't.
That's the thing. There are no loyal people anymore. People, like I said, we're all kind of getting up there in age, but no, I think the older you are, and well, even if you're younger, I've always been, like I said, it's quality, it's not quantity. I'd rather be happy with two good friends than
Yes.
200 people.
Oh
And if
yeah.
I call you on a moment's notice, Maryann, and I hope you know Maryann, Tracy, don't worry. Like they
Right.
say, a good friend knows your secrets, but a best friend knows where the body is. And
Yeah.
that's
Right.
me. Absolutely. That's me, Maryann. And like I said, there's no loyalty, whether it's in court or your lawyer. You think your lawyer's loyal to you? He's loyal to a paycheck
Yeah.
and to timing you and billing you by the minute. So that's his only loyalty. It's not seeing you win, because he still has to face the judge next week or tomorrow if he has more case a load on the same judge and he's caused a rift. So no, that's where the
Mhm.
loyalty, there is no loyalty. Very few and far. It's an entity that's just pretty much non-existent, which is sad.
And hashtag wake up taxpayer, because a
Ex-
lot of your dollars are going down the drain with this family court. And you're financing and paying for parents and children to be tortured. So
Absolutely.
time for family court to go.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
and you
go
realize
ahead.
that.
Yeah, right. And
Really?
they call November Family Court Awareness Month. How about family court every goddamn day?
Absolutely. How about some accountability? How about allowing cameras in courts?
Yeah.
And cameras wouldn't be in the courts, because isn't it sad? And us that have been through this corrupt system know that even if you had cameras in the courthouse and in your courtroom, and there was a main room of a brain with a camera that oversees all the courtrooms, isn't it sad that we wouldn't trust them because the electric would go out or a camera wasn't switched on at that accident moment? And I'm going to air something on TikTok of someone showing exactly people changing the minutes and
Oh,
the whole stuff. So even if you think it's on record, it's really not on record. And like I said, it's the wild, wild west up there.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I think anything you have to do, and I'll put it in this way and people can figure it out, anything you have to do, it's fair game, because they are not sticking to what lawful rules that they enforce on us. So we expect the same, but we can't record our conversations because accountability, and say, no, Your Honor, this is exactly what transpired, quite opposite from what the minutes or what the transcripts say. Why wasn't what I said in this transcript? So anything you have to do, listen,
Good.
gloves are off,
And the
people.
thing is, and I think I mentioned it before, I hope I don't want to repeat myself, but if you smell them wanting to put a guardian ad litem, a third party parasite in your case, you find out who all the attorneys are in your city that participate as guardian ad litems. You make a phone call and go in to see them and see if you can get them to like represent you for your case. Just make up some story. That's what they all do anyway, right? And then
That's
that
it.
way you'll have all these attorneys that you've already talk to, and they'll say, oh no, I can't be a guardian ad litem, that he or she was just in my office 2 weeks ago, I can't, there, then you've
Yeah,
ended it.
absolutely. If I would have done my due diligence, except I guess mentally you're in such a
I know.
state of being disappointed by the injustice of not having your evidence heard. And you're like, if only the judge would have listened to me, or if I could have been outspoken and not be so subdued and been like, a mute basically. And you're supposed to just nod and listen to your attorney, but your attorney doesn't have your interest at heart. Your attorney's not fighting for you and saying, no, Your Honor, you are incorrect. You need to view the evidence.
Right.
Um, you have to do, yeah, like my ex got a hold of every guardian item that's ever been in contact in the last 8-10 years. So he's swayed them. He's swayed the children's counselor at school. So it's sad, but I think mentally you're not in the frame of mind. And I think it's very unfair for people that are dealing with post-traumatic or just trying to analyze what's going on. And it's like being in family court is every bow and arrow shot in every direction at you. Retainers, you have to get this motion and everything. It's
Mhm.
just, it's impossible but you have to do your due diligence and find out that they have their bias if they have
Oh, yeah.
exactly a relationship with that judge, and I know they like to use the guardian items that they're used to, but a lot of them are friends too. So I'm going to help you if you're a guardian item, Maryann. Of course, I'm going to send my caseloads to you and recommend you be in my court.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, has to stop.
Remember, people, it's not who you know, it's who you blow, and be very, very careful out there. And, if anyone has any questions, they can contact me through dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. And I don't know how you want to be contacted, Tracy. Or they could come through me to get you. Okay.
Yep.
But we're
Yeah,
going to do this again next week. Is there
absolutely.
anything else you would like to add?
What else would I like to add? Let me see to our little
How about
event. I
shoes?
don't know.
How old is are you wearing shoes?
No, not now. I'm in I'm in Arizona right now. So
Oh,
it was 108 degrees.
no
So
thanks.
I don't have any great shoes, but I do have my nifty glass.
Oh, that's so
We will
sweet.
be yes, that I have to go get for my good friend, and we will have our cocktail hour
Oh, we
on the
will.
Gavel cocktail hour. So
We will. Slam the
yeah,
Gavel cocktail hour will happen again next week. I don't know when. We'll figure out some
we
dates.
will.
And I will
It'll be
see you soon, Tracy. And God
absolutely.
bless everyone out there, and be very careful.
Absolutely, people be safe and know knowledge is power, especially yeah, against your who you're dealing with.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy.
Absolutely, Maryann. Thank you.
Thank you.